আসসালামু আলাইকুম ভিউয়ার্স। আজকে যে কন্টেন্টটা তৈরি করেছি সেটা হচ্ছে ডালাস টেক্সাসে একটা বিউটিফুল মসজিদ, যেটাকে বলা হয় ইপিক মসজিদ, মিনস ইস্ট প্ল্যানো মসজিদ। এখানে আমরা নামাজ পড়তে যাই। আমাদের বাংলাদেশি, ইন্ডিয়ান এবং পাকিস্তানি আর মুসলিম ভাইরা। খুব প্রিয় মসজিদ আমাদের। আজকে এই মসজিদের বাইরের কিছু অংশ দেখাবো এবং এখানে যে তারাবি নামাজ পড়া হচ্ছে সেই তারাবি নামাজটা এখানে রেকর্ডিং করেছি, আপনারা দেখতে পাবেন। আর হচ্ছে ইয়াসির কাদরি, এখানে স্কলার, আমেরিকার বেশ নামকরা একজন স্কলার। তার কিছু বক্তব্য এখানে তুলে ধরা হলো। এটা আপনারা শুনবেন এবং এখানে যে তারাবির যে তেলাওয়াতটা হয়েছে এটা ভেরি বিউটিফুল তেলাওয়াত। আমি মনে করি এই ধরনের তেলাওয়াত আমি আর কখনো শুনিনি। আমি আশা করি এই ভিডিওটা আপনারা দেখে এনজয় করবেন। আসসালামু আলাইকুম, রামাদান মোবারক। অবশ্যই ভিডিওটা শেয়ার করে দিবেন। আসসালামু
الله من اتبع رضوانه سبل السلام ويخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور بإذنه ويهديهم إلى صراط مستقيم. لقد كفر الذين قالوا إن الله هو المسيح ابن مريم قل فمن يملك من الله شيئا إن أراد أن يهلك المسيح ابن مريم وأمه ومن في الأرض جميعا ولله ملك السماوات والأرض وما بينهما يخلق ما يشاء والله على كل شيء قدير. وقالت اليهود والنصارى نحن أبناء الله وأحباؤه قل فلم يعذبكم بذنوبكم بل أنتم بشر ممن خلق يغفر لمن يشاء ويعذب من يشاء ولله ملك السماوات والأرض وما بينهما وإليه المصير. يا أهل الكتاب قد جاءكم رسولنا يبين لكم على فترة من الرسل أن تقولوا ما جاءنا من بشير ولا نذير فقد جاءكم بشير ونذير والله على كل شيء قدير.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is underscoring the importance of learning and gaining knowledge. Do you think they're the same? It's a rhetorical question. Are you going to put these two people the same? الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ, those that have ilm versus those that don't have ilm. And the entire Quran is nothing but ilm. The Quran praises ilm and the Quran censures ilm. The Quran was revealed to teach us ilm. It is through ilm that we learn why we are here. We learn who created us. It is through ilm that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raises the ranks of the people. Allah tells us the biggest blessing He has given us is the capacity to learn and then the knowledge He has given us. In the Quran, Allah says, Allahu alladhi akhrajakum min butuni ummahatikum la ta'lamuna shay'an. Allah is the one who caused you to be born from your mother's wombs. You didn't know anything. Notice, when you were born, how much ilm did you have? You didn't know anything. Then Allah says, I gave you a sam'a wal absara wal afida. I gave you ears and eyes and an intellect. I gave you the capacity to learn. Look at this ayah. Allah says, you came out knowing nothing. You came out of the wombs of your mothers utterly ignorant. You didn't know. La ta'lamuna shay'a. But I gave you the capacity to learn. I gave you ears and eyes and an intellect so that you can grow and learn. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala demonstrates it is through that ultimate superiority is shown. When Allah said to the angels, I am creating a new creation, and Allah told the angels to bow down to this creation, how did Allah demonstrate that this creation was superior to the angels? Did this creation, was He created bigger than the angels? Did this creation have more wings than the angels? How did Allah demonstrate the superiority of man over the angels? وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. Allah gave Adam an ilm that He didn't give to the angels. Allah gave Adam a knowledge that was not given to the angels. It was because of that knowledge the angels understood Allah has preferred Adam over us. It is through knowledge that even the ranks of the prophets themselves are established. Allah says in the Quran, speaking to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, وَعَلَّمَكَ مَا لَمْ تَكُنْ تَعْلَمْ وَكَانَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكَ عَظِيمًا. Allah taught you, Ya Rasulullah, what you didn't have knowledge of. وَعَلَّمَكَ مَا لَمْ تَكُنْ تَعْلَمْ وَكَانَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكَ عَظِيمًا. And Allah's blessings on you are too numerous to count. It is through knowledge that even worldly leadership is established. Not just religious leadership, not just clergy and ulama, also worldly leaders. Who has the most right to lead others? In the Quran we learn, when Allah appointed a king for the Bani Israel, when Allah appointed Talut, the Bani Israel said, this person you appointed, he's not from a royal family, he's not from the elite, he doesn't have money, he's not from our nobility. And the Prophet that was at that time said to them, don't you see, Allah has chosen Talut, وَزَادَهُ بَسْطَةً فِي الْعِلْمِ وَالْجِسْمِ. Allah has given Talut ilm and jism. Allah has given Talut knowledge. That knowledge is what makes him worthy to be your worldly king. So even in leadership of this dunya, and of course, who is the most successful CEO? The one who knows the best. So we understand ilm is a priority for the deen and the dunya. In fact, let us go back to the very first revelation. What does Allah emphasize throughout that entire revelation? It is about knowledge and acquiring knowledge and studying knowledge. Iqra, go ahead and study and learn. Iqra wa rabbuka al-akram alladhi 'allama bil qalam 'allama al-insana ma lam ya'lam. Allah taught man what man did not know. This is what Allah is telling us, that not only does man have the capacity to learn, by the way, none of the animals have this type of capacity. We have a level of cognition, and the technical term, metacognition, that no animal has. Yes, it is true, animals maybe learn one-dimensional. They can teach very basic stuff. But to think deeply, to have profound thoughts, to philosophize, to study history, to study different aspects of knowledge, to integrate knowledge, to understand why you're studying knowledge, that is a level of intellect no other creation has. So not only did Allah choose us through knowledge, through ilm, Allah then gave us that ilm. وَعَلَّمَكَ مَا لَمْ تَكُنْ تَعْلَمْ. He gave us the tools, and then He gave us the actual ilm. And even in something as mundane as training animals, in the Quran, there's a category about trained animals, believe it or not. And when your trained animals hunt, when your trained dogs hunt, Allah says, تُعَلِّمُونَهُنَّ مِمَّا عَلَّمَكُمُ اللَّهُ. You train your dogs. This is a verse in the Quran, by the way. That dog training that you go hunting, Allah gave you the capacity to be able to teach your dogs this. تُعَلِّمُونَهُنَّ مِمَّا عَلَّمَكُمُ اللَّهُ. This is in the Quran, that even something as mundane as teaching other animals. How did you know how to teach other animals? How did you acquire the skill when it comes to building ships? Allah said, I taught Nuh alayhi salam to do that. When it comes to languages, Allah says, I taught Adam this. When it comes to metallurgy, Allah says, وَعَلَّمْنَاهُ صَنْعَةَ لَبُوسٍ. I taught Dawood how to do metallurgy. All of these sciences, Allah taught mankind the basics, and then we built from there, and we made what we made. All of this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed us with. So the Quran emphasizes ilm, and the Quran wants us to learn. In fact, in the whole Quran, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is commanded to ask only one thing more than what he has. وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي ilma. Oh Allah, I want more ilm. Rabbi zidni ilma. So from this we learn, هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون? Do you think the one of ilm and the one without ilm are the same? No, wallahi, they are not the same. So we learn from this, O Muslim, the Muslim is obsessed with ilm. Ilm of all types. Ilm of ilm. Unfortunately, things have changed, but the mind is still the same. So my plea to myself and all of you, memorize this verse. هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون? Are they the same? The one who has knowledge, the one who doesn't have knowledge? And realize, everybody, no matter how expert you are in one field, you can always learn in other fields. وَفَوْقَ كُلِّ ذِي عِلْمٍ عَلِيمٍ. Above every specialist, there are other specialists as well. You cannot specialize in everything. In fact, the story of Musa and Khidr in Surah Al-Kahf, Musa being a prophet, Allah said to him, actually, you have knowledge nobody else has, but Khidr has knowledge you do not have. And so Musa traveled to Khidr, and Musa said, I want to learn what Allah has taught you. This shows us to learn, you must be humble, and you must be willing to learn from the experts around you. Even if you are a prophet like Musa, there are others who know things you do not know. And this is what the Quran teaches us. If this is the case with Musa, how about me and you? Humble yourself and learn. And I always remind myself and my students, you don't have to become an alim, but don't remain a jahil. You don't have to become an alim, but don't remain a jahil. Learn and read and study. And Allah tells us in the Quran, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask the people of knowledge if you do not know. Ask the people, learn from the people of knowledge if you do not know. It is the journey of knowledge that raises our ranks. Allah says in the Quran, يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. Allah will raise the ranks of the believers and the ranks of those who have ilm. Allah will raise the ranks many darajat. Simply by learning, you will rise up in your ranks. Simply by knowing something, Allah will bless you. So be incentivized to learn. Always be curious. Don't waste your time in useless things. If you have some free time, study and read. And I reiterate, by knowledge here, I don't just mean knowledge of Islam. No doubt, knowledge of Islam is the most important. But the Quranic concept of ilm is any type of ilm. Surah Iqra teaches us this, right? Allah taught man what he did not know. Iqra wa rabbuka al-akram. Allah Azza wa Jalla taught allama bil qalam. All of the sciences that are natural, that are mubah, they are from the knowledge Allah has given us. And inshallah, if we return to prioritizing ilm, we shall return to the izzah that this ummah once upon had, and realize, brothers and sisters, that of the names of Allah is Alim and Allam and Alim al-Ghaybi wa shahada. Allah is Allam al-Ghuyub, and Allah knows everything, and Allah Azza wa Jalla in His mercy has given us a little bit of ilm, but it is only going to remain a little bit. وَمَا أُوتِيتُم مِّنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. But that qaleel that we have, the more we learn, the more we will be blessed. And so remember, قُلْ هَلْ يَسْتَوِي الَّذِينَ يَعْلَمُونَ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. The two are not the same. Let us choose to be in the category of those who have ilm. And inshallah ta'ala we'll continue tomorrow. Wassalamu alaikum.